Today we are going to merge two tutorials that I've done before. We're going to merge the shop system as well as the Love UI system. This is what it's going to look like in the end. We're going to be able to visit Maple's room. So this is an extra button we're adding, which is going to bring us into our other Love tutorial where we can talk to Maple and we can give her a gift. Now an inventory system will pop up. We don't have anything currently, so we're just going to run back and we're going to do what we implemented in our shop system, which is working part-time, bringing the money up, purchasing a good. We're going to purchase donuts. We're going to go back out, go back into Maple's room. This time, when we open up the gift, it's going to be there, and we're going to be able to hand over a treat to her, and she's going to say thank you. So we're going to reuse the assets or the images that we had in our Love UI tutorial. And for this tutorial, I'm just going to use the shop system. I'm going to rewrite over that. So I'm going to open up the shop systems images, the Love UI tutorials images, and copy and paste those images over so that I can reuse them. I'm going to go through the shop system. I'm going to go through the script here, launch this project, make sure it's working, and I'm going to work off of this project. Feel free to duplicate this shop system if you don't want to write over it. That's just what I'm doing. So we also need to copy and paste over the scripts that we have. So first let's create them. I'm going to create mapleroom.rpy. I'm going to go into that file on my other screen and I'm going to make sure that I just copy and paste the whole thing and put it in. I like to do it this way. You could just literally copy the file and paste them over. But if you do that, make sure that you copy both the RPY file and then there's another file as well that's renamed to the exact same thing. I think it's called an RP file. Both of those need to come over, otherwise it won't work. So I'm doing the same thing with custom screens. Make sure that I copy and paste that over. When I create the custom screens.rpy here, it'll create that additional file for me. So that's why I just like doing it this way. Another thing is to make sure that in the main script we bring over our variables. So I make sure that I have my define for character Maple, her stats, her chat, and as well with the labels. I'm going to put this in here now just as reference for me. We don't need to call var start. This is just a reference for me to know at what point I can call this button, but we don't need it for now. Another thing that was mentioned to me about default versus define when calling variables. Define is for variables that won't change. Default is for variables that will change. So I'm going to change the money, the drink, the treat, the item. All of those things could change at any point. Maple's stats and her chat can change as well. But herself as a character won't change, so we'll keep that as define. I personally didn't know about this, and I don't want to spread misinformation. It hasn't caused any issues for me, but at the same time, I don't want you guys to get like halfway down a project and then this starts happening and you find out that this is the reason why. Okay, so now that we have our Love tutorial and our shop system all in one, what we're going to do is create a path. Right now, so when I open up the project, I don't have any correlation. So the shop system still works and the Love UI is somewhere else. So we're going to create a third button here to get us into Maple's room. To do that, we're going to go, so I'm on the script, script.rpy. I'm going to scroll down to screen options. We're going to have our shop option, that's our button, and our work option. We're going to create a third option. This is going to be Maple's room option. Okay, this is going to be an image button again. I have the set position, but you can pick whatever position works for you. Remember to play around. Okay, and then I'm setting it to auto. Maple button, this is what the images are called. Underscore %s, meaning it's going to flick between both the hover and the idle. And then we're going to have an action. Buttons don't work without an action. And where we're going to set it to is maple path. And I'm going to hit File, Save All. So remember, inside of Maple's room, maple path. This is exactly where I'm placing it. So let's give that a run and see if it works, just to make sure that the two are now merged. There it is, visit Maple's room, and here we are. So we can talk, gift, and date. Now we're going to create the inventory system and eventually merge it with when we click gift, that our inventory system pops up. To create our inventory system, I'm going to put it inside of custom screens. This is where our screen for Love UI is. Going to put it below all of this. Going to put a label call underscore inv screen. Let's have that as a capital S as well. And this is basically telling us when the inventory is open, this is what it's going to show. We're going to create an image called inv base, which is going to equal our inventory bar. That's just like the background. And we're going to show it every time that someone goes to open up their inventory. When they open up their inventory, I have two set rules. It shows the background, but it'll also show or not show your drink, whether you have bought it or not. So stay with me here. If we have a drink, but it's less than or equal to 0, meaning if we don't have any drinks, we never bought it from the shops, then show screen, drink, locked. What this is going to do is show like a blank square, meaning we didn't get anything. But if we did get a drink, so else, we're going to show screen, drink, unlocked. If we never got a drink, we're going to show that it's locked. Otherwise, we're going to show that it's unlocked. I'm going to take this, copy and paste it. We're going to do the same thing for treat. So if we don't have a treat, it's locked. Otherwise, we do have one, so it's unlocked. Then after all of this, we're going to call screen close inventory. What close inv is basically just the button. So it is like a close button. Close inv button. Screen close inv. Which what this is going to do is go back and close all screens. So this is similar to the image buttons that we've had for going, you know, when we were in the shop and we're going back to outside of the shop, or when we're going into Maple's room and we're going back out of Maple's room. But the difference that we're going to do here, and I have this set a certain way. I actually position this just to be annoying with aligns rather than this is just a second way that you can position. This is just like X pause and Y pause, but instead of being like exact, you're just saying in general it's to the left, it's to the center, or it's to the right. I have an X offset minus 30 and a Y offset, which is at 30. Auto, so the button is going to be the map underscore %s button. And the action that this is going to do after we press it is call hide screens UI. So this is going to be a new thing. So instead of our button actually going back, it's going to just do something. It's going to do something first before we go back. We're going to create. Let's copy and paste this just to make it easier for ourselves. But we're going to keep this with us. We're going to create it up at the top just so it's easier for us to see what this is going to do. We're going to say label. This is a call hide screens UI label. And we're going to just start hiding all the screens that we have created. So we've got we've got hide in base so far. And then when we're finished, then we're going to jump back to maple path. Maple path here. Okay. So when we're in Maple's room, what we're going to do is after the person hits maple gift, it is going to call the inv screen. We're going to call the inventory screen. So when we come back here and go down here, it's going to call this. It's going to open up our inventory. It's going to show what drinks and treats that we have. And then it's going to have a button there available for us to click. If we click that button, it's going to jump up here, hide everything that we have, and go back to Maple so that we can give a gift and come back to her. Okay. Right now, I won't be able to run this because we have a couple of screens here that we haven't declared yet. So let us start to declare those. I'm going to start off with screen drink locked. This is going to be just a normal background box. It is a image button. It has a XPOS of 200 and a Y position of 650. Because we don't have any special, it's going to be called empty space.png. Because we don't have any special hover or non-hover section, it's just fine to put it as idle. I'm going to copy and paste this over. This is going to be drink unlocked. Now the positioning can stay the same, but the difference is the image that is going to show up. We're going to have a idle and a hover. That is called as so. I'm going to say action to come here because we're going to add a certain something here in just a second. Let us copy both of these because we're going to create treat locked and treat unlocked. We have treat locked. Now with the treat, we're going to move over its position, otherwise they'll overlap each other. So let's keep those a bit of spacing apart. The empty space is totally fine when your treat is locked, so that is good to go. Now we want to have this be treat unlocked. Again, it needs to move position. And the auto is fine, but we need to have the treat. And the action to come is also fine. So we are good to go for that. Now, let's put in what happens when we select this drink. And what we want to happen is for it to be given as a gift. So we're going to set the variable. Make sure you're in box quotes here. Set variable, open bracket, quotes. We're going to set the drink. Drink -1. I'm going to jump out of that bracket and put a comma. Set another variable, open bracket, open quotes, item. Get out of the quotes and give a comma. Open a new quotes, put in drink. We're going to pause here for a second. So what we're doing here, back into script, you see we have our drink variable here. We have it set to 0 and we have our item set to a string. So our drink can be a number and our item can be a string. So we want our drink, which is our number, to go by -1. So we're removing one drink from the batch. And then we want to set the item as a drink that kind of calls or tells what it's doing. Now, we want to go right in between this ending quotes and this open bracket because we are going to create a jump action. Remember to put a comma here. Jump. Open bracket, quotes, remove, remove item. Now let's copy this from drink unlocked and we're going to paste this into treat unlocked. We're going to change the variable treat. We're going to take away a treat. The item will be a treat. And we're going to jump to remove item as well. Hit save there. It's important to remember that we've added a bunch of new screens here. So let's keep in mind to go back up to our very top of the script in custom screens where we have called the hide screens UI. So we need to add a bunch of screens in here that we've just created. So hide screen, drink locked, hide screen, drink unlocked, hide screen, treat locked, and hide screen, treat unlocked. This call hide screens UI will be called when someone hits the back button. So if someone goes, I don't want to give a treat or I don't want to give a gift, this is going to be a button that gets pressed. It's going to hide every screen we've created and it's going to jump back to Maple. Let's copy this because this is only going to happen if someone backs out and doesn't give a gift. But we want something to happen when someone actually gives a gift. That is what this jump is for, remove item. Let's create it down here. Remove item is going to be our label. So label remove item. We're going to hide the screen drink locked, drink unlocked, treat unlocked, and the background. We don't need to jump the Maple path. This isn't required. But what we're going to say as something different is you handed over, and we're going to call the variable item, and we have set it to whatever we set it to, whichever button we pressed. Now, we can give this a run. Let's go into Maple's room. Let's have a look at the gift. Our inventory system pops open. This is in base, the brown base at the bottom. And these two squares are the drink locked and treat locked images that are idle, that are showing up. We're going to hit the back button. That's cleared all of our screens for us. We never gave a gift. We're going to work part-time a bit. We're going to purchase some goods. Let's buy one drink and let's buy one donut. Let's go back. Let's go back to Maple's room. And let's go to give a gift. Now our two items are showing up and they're also hovering. So let's give the drink as a gift. You hand it over, drink. All the screens wiped again. We give a gift. Now the drink is gone. We're left with just the donuts. Let's give a treat. You hand it over, treat. We go back to gift and they're both gone. So that is how you create an inventory system. This is just the bare bones of it. You can change it based on how you like or what suits your project. This is just very specific for this project. You're in a situation where you're talking to someone and you want to open up an inventory system, give it, and after you give it or hit back, it disappears completely. But those are all controlled by hiding or showing the screen like I did right over here. If you wanted to have a system where, you know, you click around a room and it goes into your inventory box, you can do so by keeping it open forever, never having this hide. This can just stay here and you can click certain things and it can go up or down based on whatever you like. You could have an inventory system when you're in the shop. Say if you wanted to have some sort of, while you're working part-time, turns into a mini game where you have a bowl in front of you and you can click and drag different items into that bowl. It all works off variables. So if you have it, it's going to appear, and if you don't, it doesn't appear. Just like how this ruling was placed here. If the drink is there, show it, otherwise don't. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if it was helpful to you. Let me know what kind of projects you're doing. As always, I love reading the comments. And thank you as well to those who gave a heads up about define and default. I wouldn't have known that because I haven't come into errors before. but it's always really helpful to have a community of people that can help each other out. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.